and you still get the things that you want. So we are going to move on, and John and I were talking before the show, and I think this is brilliant. I think it's genius. I think it's the quickest, the easiest way to keep the foods that we have in our pantry and our refrigerator fresher, because you're actually able to vacuum seal your food. Vacuum seal, what it does is that it vacuum seals in flavor and freshness. But the minute you break the seal, the freshness has an expiration date. But now you can put it back in, which is so great.
Air is the enemy of food. We all know that. That's why we tie up our bread bags. That's why we have all the different containers that are probably cluttering up your kitchen. With Vacucraft, watch how simple this is. In fact, the best way to show you is with this tub of marshmallows, okay? In the set, you get a large, a medium, and a small, okay? And you get the square or the rectangular storage container as well. But this is what you're going to hear. This is the sound of freshness. Listen. You can hear it release the vacuum. The lid comes off. So you put what you want in here. Any dry goods, any wet goods, they're dishwasher safe. They're completely washable, refrigerator safe, microwave safe. And here's the best part about this. You put the lid back on, take whatever you need out, and it comes with the pump. Place it over the top. You can actually, look, you can see the air coming out of there because, well, the air is what's creating the vacuum.
That's and I love that it's nothing electronic
There's no
involved.
Air left in there, right?
Right, it's just the pump, and you're getting two pumps. So
for camping, for a camper or a boat in your house, they look fantastic too. You put these out on your countertop, one with flour, one with sugar, one with your coffee. You want to talk about fresh? Listen to this, okay? Listen. You can hear the freshness. All right? You can actually see the air coming back in when you release that. Smell that coffee. You know, our coffee is packaged and sent to us in vacuum containers. If you can keep that vacuum in your coffee will be fresher, more aromatic, and taste better.
Right, so that means the last cup of coffee will taste as fresh as the first cup of coffee.
That's exactly right, no matter how much you buy. So I'll tell you what, here's another cool feature about the Vacucraft, okay? If you're going to use it as a storage container, right here on the top, there's a little date ring, all right? You place the date. So say today is October 1st, all right?
Okay.
We want to place that on October 1st if we put it in there, or you can tell how long that's been in there. If it's been in there for a while, you can say, oh, okay, well, but I'll tell you what, the freshness that you get from this, it will make your food last longer, taste better, and you can do all kinds of different things. How many times have you tried to wrap up the last couple of bagels in the bread bag that they come in, and the mold starts growing on them? Well, with no air, there's no mold. Okay, so listen. You can hear the freshness. You pop that lid off. Look at this. It's fresh bagel.
Okay. And that's what we want.
So you take what you need out. When you put it back in, all you do is you pump it a few times. Right here on the top, there's an indicator button. Okay. When you see that invert, watch what happens when I release this. You can see it pop out. Okay. So when you see that invert, you know that you've got that vacuum seal.
That was just a couple pumps. And I want to just let you know, you're getting, again, the small, which is a good size. It's not even small, but
the
small.
1 quart, 2 quart, 3 quart, and actually that's a 4 quart, I think.
Yes.
And you get the rectangle.
1, 2, 3, 4, and the rectangle, and you're getting 2 pumps. And notice there's no batteries, there's nothing to plug in, there's nothing electronic. This is something that we can all do, and we don't have to be afraid of it. So this is what we're getting in the set. If you need more than one set, because you're going to say, oh, okay, for the flour, for the coffee, for the rice, for the pasta,
once you try them one time, I can promise you'll be going to hsn.com and ordering all of them. Because you'll put them in your pantry, you'll use them in the refrigerator for storage. Look at this. You can hear the freshness. This is the sound of fresh. Breakfast cereal, look. You can hear it, okay? And the best part is the quality. This is not, these are not like those, here, look. I mean, these are quality. It's not glass, but it's clear, so you can see through it. You can see how much breakfast cereal is left, okay? We were talking earlier about my kids at home. They'll take that box of cereal, will end up with about that much left on the bottom, and it's still on the shelf, but you don't know how much is in there. Now you know, because you can see through the container, and it stays fresher longer. Who wants that stale taste or that stale crunch? One thing I've tried, this has happened to me in the past, all right? You open up a bag of these things. The kids love them, but they've never closed the bag back up. Listen. that's fresh, okay? And every single time you pull one of these out and you crunch down on it, look, it's going to be crunchy and not soggy. I mean,
right, not chewy,
who
not
wants
stale.
to chew on those?
Yeah.
And again, all you do is place the pump on top. And by the way, these are a redesigned pump. Look at this. All you do is pump it a few times until that button inverts.
Right.
You set the date if you want to. You can set the date that you put it in there.
Right.
And now it's fresh, stored in your pantry or in the fridge.
Right.
And
I want to do it.
Yeah.
I want to do it because doesn't it
You
look
can
fun?
hear it.
Look, so I just released
Here, try
the air.
this one.
Okay, I'm going
All
to
right.
do this one. I'll do it right here in front of you. So I release the air. Ooh, I like
no.
it. It pops down. And then I just put the pump
Yep.
on.
Put the
and
pump
then
on. You pump it 4, 5, 6 times till you get that seal.
I'm
now,
done.
if you keep
Got the
going
seal.
with that, those marshmallows will grow because the more you pump it, the more air that you take out.
Yeah.
But we recommend only pumping it until that little
Just-
button, okay, inverts, and that gives you that store, that factory fresh seal.
This is it. Okay, so I think this is genius because it's easy to use. It's not something that's going to malfunction because of an electrical problem or you don't need batteries to use it. You're getting
Right.
2 pumps that are easy. Even if you don't have a whole lot of hand strength, you can do this with a finger. 2 pumps, 4 containers that you heard the way that John banged
They
that.
are quality, yes.
It's hard to hurt these, which is good. What do we have here? Liquid.
Well, yep, yeah, liquids, fantastic. If you've got leftover soup or stew or anything liquid in here, you don't have to worry about it, okay? You put the lid on, watch this. All you do is give it a few pumps until that button inverts, okay? That is a sealed container. You can tip it upside down.
Wow.
You can roll it around. Nothing's going to come out of there because it's sealed, vacuum sealed, until you want it out. And then listen, you release that little button right there. All you do is pull it to the side.
Yeah.
The lid comes off. You can take whatever you need out. If you can make soup a week in advance like this.
Okay, and it keeps it fresher.
Keep
And
it
then-
in the fridge fresh.
Yeah,
okay?
and then I can transport it.
And then you can take it with you. If you're going to go to a potluck, you can take it with you. Sandwiches like this. How many times have you had a half a sandwich left over? You take out the plastic wrap or the tin foil and you
Yeah.
wrap it up. Look at this. Here's a sandwich. And oh, by the way, you don't have to worry about how durable. They are very, very durable.
Yes.
All right? And listen, it probably still has that factory seal.
It does, yeah.
And yep, and look, everything is in here. You don't have to worry about it. Now with the rectangular ones, these have the tabs on the side so you can lock it down, okay? That keeps it on there.
Okay.
But if you want to vacuum seal that, all you do is give it those pumps, okay, until you see that button invert like that. And that's a perfect seal. That's going to keep it fresh. There won't be mold. It'll taste fresh.
Yeah.
You're not going to end up with that soggy bread. Hey,
yeah.
speaking of bread.
Okay.
How many times have you taken out a loaf of bread and the mold has started to grow on it? All right,
that's right.
How about bugs? Maybe it's the flour. Okay,
Yeah.
if you've ever had those little what do they call those weevil things that get into the flour? Now you don't have to worry about it. Listen to this. Watch. You can, if you look, watch this right through the jar or right through the container. You can see the vacuum,
Yes.
all right? And when you take out what you need for your baking,
Right.
you put the lid back on, put the pump on the top, give it some pumps like this.
Yeah.
You pull all of the air out of there that's going to harm that food. It keeps the bugs out. It keeps the air out. Everything stays crisp and fresh. Your bread will stay fresher longer because there's no air in there to promote the mold.
This is so important.
You can hear that. That's the sound of fresh.
You know what? I'm glad that you showed the bread too, because if you are, let's say, an empty nester, or it's just you and your partner, or what have you, just you and your kid, and it takes a long time to go through an entire loaf of bread, or it takes a long time to go through an entire, container of cereal or
Right.
whatever it is, and you never get to the bottom because it gets stale or it molds before you have a chance to do it and you have to throw it away. This is the answer. It really is. And you're getting a lot for a little bit of money that you're not throwing away. Now, we're showing you kind of dried goods and different things, but I asked John, can I put my leftovers in it? He said yes.
Absolutely.
Can I put my spaghetti if I don't eat all of it?
And you know, with spaghetti, the red sauce, if you've ever had containers that have ended up getting that stain around them, this will not do that. It's all BPA free. This container these are going to be the best containers you've ever used in your kitchen. Listen, and you can vacuum seal everything. so you know that it's going to be fresh.
Wow,
all right.
yeah.
Set the date on the top. When you release that vacuum, okay, you can take the food out. Whatever, if you want to portion out, however you have, whatever amount you like.
Yeah.
If you want a cup of soup in the middle of the day, put the lid back on, vacuum seal it until you see that tab invert like that. And look, you can tip this upside down. You can roll it around. You could take this with you on a trip in the car if you like. Remember, keep celery fresh like this in water in the fridge, all right, for the kids when they come home for a quick afternoon snack.
Okay.
Or carrots or apples or whatever. Because you're removing the air, apple wedges won't turn brown.
Oh.
There's so many uses for this. Chips, they could be in there for weeks, all right?
Yeah.
Listen, you can hear it. Listen. You can hear the freshness.
Because
you pull the lid off.
Yeah.
Look. Crisp
every time.
Every time.
This is the thing. We're used to vacuum sealing because when you go and when you bought those chips, it was in a vacuum sealed bag. And remember, the bag looked full, and you opened it up, and it was like halfway. So we're used to vacuum sealing. We've grown up with it. We know it means freshness, and we wouldn't buy it if it weren't vacuum sealed. So why have it in our pantry if it's not vacuum sealed?
Fresh, soft marshmallows.
Yeah.
And again, remember, when you're removing the air, you can actually see how the pump is removing the air here because those marshmallows are growing as you're removing the air, all right?
Yeah.
It's changing the atmospheric pressure inside the container, so there's no air left in there. It's going to stay fresh longer.
Yes.
It'll keep your food better, and it saves you so much money because you don't have to worry about throwing away spoiled food. We throw away so much food in this country, and with this container system, with the Vacucraft system, remember, it's removing the air so you don't have to worry about mold, you don't have to worry about bugs, you don't have to worry about things going stale.
Yes.
Okay? It's going to be crisp and fresh each and every time.
And those are the reasons we throw things away, because they've gone stale, because they're moldy. Have you ever gone to your rice or to your sugar or your flour? Because it takes a long time to use this much sugar or flour, and there are little bugs in it. Maybe it's your cereal, and it just is just a headache, and you don't know what to do about it. A little twist tie is not going to do what the vacuum seal can do.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Watch this. Yeah. When I release this, okay, you'll see the rice. You'll see the air come back in. You can actually see it, all right?
Right.
Then you take out what you need, you put the lid back on, and look, give it a few pumps, and it's vacuum sealed again. Look, this is how I keep them at home. You can see it. They're actually very beautiful with these translucent lids. You've got the 1 quart, you've got the 2.5, I think it's 2.5, and the 4 quart. These hold so much, okay?
Yes.
But for your flour, the things that you use all the time, like coffee every single morning, your sugar, keep it fresh. It won't get lumpy and clumpy, okay, when you keep it in this container.
Okay, I know in our last just couple seconds, I wanted to remind you, this is everything that you're getting. You're getting the rectangle, you're getting the 3 of the canisters there, you're getting 2 pumps, and you get it all for, on your credit card, $15. And that price is just for this visit. I don't want you to miss out. This is John's only show of the day, and John, thank you so much for keeping it fresh.